Welcome dear students to certificate course on groundwater exploration organized by Department of Geology Sri Shivaji Science College Amravati. I Saurabh Paunikar, Assistant Professor Department of Geology Sri Shivaji Science College Amravati will be discussing today's topic on is hydrological cycle. So what is hydrological cycle? Hydrological cycle is nothing but endless circulation of water between earth and atmosphere. The Earth's water resources are constantly being recycled. Water in the ocean evaporates due to heat energy provided by solar radiation. The water vapor move upwards and form clouds, while much of the clouds condenses and fall back to ocean as rain. Part of those clouds is driven to the land areas by wind. There, they condenses and precipitate into the land masses as rain, snow, hail, etc. A part of precipitation may evaporate back to the atmosphere even while falling and is ultimately returned to the atmosphere by evaporation and transpiration of plants. A portion of water finds its way through the surface soil to stream channels, while other water penetrates further into the ground to become part of Earth's groundwater supply. Under the influence of gravity, both surface stream flow and groundwater move towards the lower contours and may eventually discharge into the ocean, from where it evaporates again. This process is called the water cycle or hydrological cycle. Here we can see hydrological cycle where you can see water is getting evaporated or transpirated. So when there is a loss of water in from plants, it is nothing but transpiration, and when it is direct evaporation from water, it is evaporation. So usually this process occurs hand in hand. That's why it is also called as evapotranspiration. Then there is again a juvenile water, which is very old water, which haven't come upon the surface or in a hydrological cycle since very long. So due to different activities, here we can see volcano, there juvenile water is coming up, right? Now there is again a precipitation of this water in the form of either snow or rain. So here we can see on some glaciers there is snowfall, right? Usually there are rains. Again, this water or snow, it falls on the earth's surface and it runs downwards according to the gradient and under the influence of gravity, right? So simply we can say it runs from higher elevation to the lower elevation. Okay, so some of it gets infiltrated. Here we can see the arrows which are showing infiltration, that is पाणी झिरपत आहे आपण मराठीत म्हणू शकतो. Water is getting infiltrated, that is it is going down in the earth, right? Here you can again see a water table. We'll be discussing it further, but water table is nothing but a water level which we intend to tap when we are going for a groundwater supply, right? And this below this ground water table there is a groundwater flow. Okay, now there this flow also can come in contact with land. Here we can see there is a line. So what will happen here, there will be a formation of spring. Okay, this shows a lake, this is a bigger water body, it could be ocean, right? And again there is a evaporation and transpiration from it, and this goes on the cycle. Hydrological cycle. In this diagram we can very well see how hydrological cycle is interconnected. At the top it is atmosphere or water vapor. At the bottom it is lithosphere, magmatic water. Now, in between all this, there is a big system which it is by which it is all interconnected. Here we can see land surface, ice, snow, or depression storages. It is connected with atmospheric water. It receives in the form of precipitation and it gives in the form of evapotranspiration. Transpiration as for losses from plants, and thus evaporation directly, and it combines, we say it as evapotranspiration. Then some of it infiltrates further in the ground and some of it goes in the overland flow and reaches to lake, pond, streams or river and forms surface water which is visible to us, right? And after infiltrating it goes to vadose zone. This zone, it is not a saturated zone, that is all pores in rocks are not completely filled with water. That is nothing but your unsaturated zone. Okay, from here also it can lose the water in the form of vapor movement. It can again interflow to form surface water. Under the gravity it can further go downwards journey and it can reach to the zone of saturation, that is your groundwater, that is below the water table. By again capillary rise it can goes to vadose zone. Then again there is a base flow. This can reach to a depression where it can again become a surface water uh, by forming a spring, or it can reach to a ocean. Again, this surface water is connected with atmospheric water. It gives and receives in the form of, it receives in the form of precipitation and gives in the form of evaporation. And the streams and rivers, this water in the form of runoff reaches to ocean. From ocean there is again loss and receiving, loss in the form of evaporation and receiving in the form of precipitation. Now over here it's interesting. In the subduction zone, magmatic water is received in the lithosphere and it loses in the sea from the sea floor vents.